Hello Hayfield Talks, I am Miss Lynn. I hope that you are all doing well, staying safe and healthy during this time. I'm super excited. I'm going to be bringing you some art projects through videos during this online learning experience. So let's get started. Today, you will be an architect. An architect is a person who designs buildings or structures. You will be designing a playground with paper sculpture techniques. So a sculpture is an artwork that is three-dimensional. This means that it is not flat. So these are all 3D techniques that I'm going to be showing you later how to make. For this project, you will need scissors, a pencil, glue or tape, and paper. In this video, I will be demonstrating with construction paper and a glue stick. But you can also make a really awesome playground with just notebook paper. Look how it's three-dimensional, which means that there are things that are standing up. Before we learn any paper sculpture techniques, we're going to cut our paper into smaller shapes. The first shape we're going to make is a rectangle. Fold your paper, open it up, cut on the fold to cut a straight line. I'm going to make a few rectangles. So I have these smaller rectangles, they're narrow, and I have this bigger rectangle. The next shape I'm going to make is a square. To do that, you can take a rectangular paper, you can fold down the corner like this, and then following this edge, you can cut the paper, and you'll have a square. So I'm going to make a couple of squares right now. So now I've made 4 squares. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make a circle. You need to take one of your squares and you're going to cut the corners. Cut, turn your paper and cut the 4 corners off. Now this does not look like a circle yet, so I need to keep cutting my corners off. I'm going to go all the way around and I'm going to cut the corners off. Cut, 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 cut. I've trimmed my corners off and now I have more of a circle. I'm going to make a few circles. Alright, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 circles. The next shape I'm going to show you how to make is a semicircle. To make a semicircle, all you have to do is take one of your circles, fold it in half, and then you're going to cut on that crease. Cut, 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 cut. Now you have 2 semicircles. The last shape I'm going to show you how to make is a triangle. To make a triangle, you also need a square. So I already have other squares cut out, so I'm going to take this square and just cut on the line when you fold your square in half. Now that we have all of our paper cut out into different shapes, we are ready to learn different paper sculpture techniques. The first technique that I'm going to show you how to make is pleat. You're going to take one of your rectangle sheets and you're going to fold it away from you. You're going to fold it towards you, away from you. Fold it towards you, away from you, and then when you unfold it, it should look like this. This is a pleat. The next technique that I'm going to show is curl. You're also going to need a long rectangle. You're going to need a pencil also. And you're going to wrap the paper around the pencil. You're going to roll it down. Take the pencil out, and it makes a curl. You can pull the curl a little bit so it stretches out. Like this. So now I have a curl. The next technique that I'm going to make is a loop. I'm going to show you how to glue it together. You need to find your glue stick. I'm going to put glue on one side. I'm going to take the other end and press and hold it together. You should count to 10 so that way it stays together. You can make a chain by connecting different loops. If I make another one over here, it's going to make a chain. The next technique I'm going to show is fringe. I'm going to make a fringe with a square. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the paper. So it looks like this. You can make a pleated fringe. So I'm going to fold it away from me, towards me, away from me, towards me. I have a pleat. I can make a fringed pleat. I can also make a curled fringe. So to do that, I'm gonna curl the paper first with a pencil. I'm gonna pull this out, and then I'm gonna cut the paper. It's gonna be a little tricky to cut because you just curled it. So just take your time. So now you have a curled fringe. So these are the 3 different types of fringe. There's a regular fringe, there's a curled fringe, and there's a pleated fringe. The next technique that I'm going to show is called a stand up. I'll take the semicircle. I'm going to cut the semicircle to make 2 legs. 1, 2. I'm going to glue just one side. And I'm going to twist the paper and press and hold. Look how it's no longer flat, it like stands up. You can also do that with a triangle. So try this with all sorts of different shapes. The next technique that we're gonna learn is how to make tabs. You need a rectangular piece. Make sure that it's not too narrow. It should be a wider rectangle. And you're gonna cut short cuts along one edge. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are tabs. You're gonna fold the paper back the other way. Now you have these tabs. The way this works is you can put glue on the tabs and you can glue it down to paper, and look how this piece stands up. It's kind of like a wall. The next thing we're going to learn how to make is a prism. To make a prism, you're going to start with a rectangle. You are going to fold the paper 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This piece is really big, so I'm gonna cut this piece smaller, and I'm gonna glue this small piece onto this side. So I'm gonna glue the small piece and connect it to the big piece. Now I've made something that stands up. This is called a prism. A prism has two sides that are the same shape. So I have a square and a square, and a prism has flat sides. Your prism you can glue onto your paper like this, or you can glue onto the paper like this. It can be tall, or it can be shorter. You could also make a triangular prism. To do that, you fold it 3 times instead of 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This end piece is really big, so I'm gonna cut it small. I'm gonna glue the small end piece, and I'm gonna connect it to the other end. I'm gonna line it up, and I'm gonna press and hold for 10 seconds. And now I have a triangular prism. The 2 sides are both triangles, and then the other sides are flat. The next technique is a cone. To make a cone, you need to start with a circle. You're gonna cut a slit halfway up, glue one side, and you're going to turn it and glue it down. Now you have a cone. You can also make a spiral out of a circle. To do that, you're gonna cut following the shape of the circle, and you're gonna cut smaller and smaller circles around. And now you have a spiral. The last technique is called slits and slots. So you're gonna first start with a prism, and you're going to connect other prisms to that one. 1, 2, 3. I've made a rectangular prism. After that, you can cut slits, and you can connect another piece by sliding it into the slits that you just cut. And I can connect other things to that also. So maybe I'll cut a slit over here, a slit over here. I'll cut all the way through, and I can slide another piece in. So this technique is called slit and slots. Now that you've learned different paper techniques, you can start constructing your playground. You need to get a big sheet of paper for the base of your playground. This is what you're gonna use to glue the other paper onto. All right, so I'm gonna start constructing my playground. I'm gonna start with the stand-up techniques. I'm gonna flip them over, put glue, and I'm gonna press and hold so it sticks really well. I'm gonna glue this across from it. I'm gonna find a pleat technique, and I'm gonna connect the two together to make sort of like a bridge. Or maybe it can be something where if it's really sunny outside, you can go and get some shade on a hot day close to summertime. So I have 3 stands up connected to each other. I have a pleat, and I have a curl that's sort of this crazy slide. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have this chain made with many loops, and it's something that people can climb through to get to this part of the playground. So next I'm gonna add the tab technique that I made earlier. I have to put glue on all of the tabs. You're probably gonna get glue on your hands, that's okay. You can shape your tab technique. I'm gonna make mine curled into like a snake shape. I'm gonna press and hold it down. So now this is sort of like a tunnel where people can crawl through. I'm gonna show you how to attach a cylinder. To do that, you're gonna have to cut the bottom. Cut, cut, cut. I would say make about 4 cuts. You can cut these little triangles out and that'll make it easier to fold the paper. You're gonna fold in and you're going to glue the bottom. To make it stick onto the paper, you're gonna wanna take something like a pencil and press down on the tabs on the inside. Now my cylinder is attached. It's the same idea for the prism. You're gonna want to cut, cut, cut. You have cut 3 small cuts. And you're gonna fold the paper to make tabs. The small piece is called a tab. You can cut the corners off of the tab if it's hard to fold the tabs in. And then you're gonna put glue on the tabs. And I'll put this over here. So I'm gonna add a spiral to this cone so that way it's gonna look like something people can climb up. I need to glue this piece onto the top of this cone. So I'm gonna glue the middle part and I'm gonna attach it to the top of the cone and I'm going to glue the tail end of my spiral to the bottom. So now it looks like this. People can start down here and they can climb their way around the spiral to the top. The last thing that I'm gonna show you is slits and slots. I have this cone here. I can cut a slit on one side and another slit on the other side. I can take another prism and I can slide it into there. And now I have a taller structure. And maybe I can add another thing off to the side. I'm gonna cut another slit over here. Now I have finished my imaginary playground. I have combined the different techniques together to make a sculpture so it's not flat. And on this imaginary playground, people can go down slides, they can hide under things, they can crawl through things, they can slide down, and they can climb up high. I hope that you had fun being an architect designing your own playground. I would love to see the artwork that you've created, so if you would like to, please take a photo and email it to me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you had fun while learning. Have a marvelous day, stay safe, stay healthy, and have fun with the rest of your distance learning.